Imagine a morning. There is a bustle around. Someone is rushing to work. Someone is trying to solve important problems. Someone is already immersed in the stress and anxiety of the new day. The world is full of chaos, and it seems to pull us into a whirlpool of worry and anxiety. How can we stay calm when everything is falling apart around us? How to find inner peace when the whole world is shouting that we should worry, fear, and worry? This question worries each of us. But is there an answer to it? I invite you to discover the path that was paved by the great minds of the past. A path that leads to inner peace, resilience, and wisdom. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that has not lost its relevance even after thousands of years. The Stoics knew how to live without losing themselves in an endless series of worries, and today I will show you how you can apply these wise lessons to your life. What if I told you that there is a way to stop overreacting to everything around you? That there is a method that will allow you to face any difficulty with equanimity and even gratitude? It sounds incredible, doesn't it? But the Stoics found that key, and today we'll explore with you how they did it. Watch this video to the end and you'll learn how to turn the chaos around you into a source of strength and calm. You'll learn how to maintain mental clarity and balance, no matter how stormy the storm outside your window. We are going on a fascinating journey into the world of Stoic wisdom. We will study how Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus coped with life's difficulties while maintaining unshakable inner peace. After all, their experience is a treasure trove of knowledge that can help each of us become stronger, wiser, and calmer. Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It is a whole system of views that helps a person find inner peace, live harmoniously with himself and the world. Founded in ancient Greece and developed in Rome, this philosophy continues to inspire millions of people around the world. But what makes Stoicism so powerful and relevant even millennia later? First of all, the Stoics taught us to accept life as it is. This does not mean resignation to circumstances or passivity. On the contrary, acceptance is a deep awareness that allows us to manage our reactions wisely. A wise person realizes that there are things that are beyond his control and does not try to change what cannot be changed. This knowledge frees him from suffering and allows him to focus on what is truly important, so what is within our power. Each of us faces events that cause us stress, anxiety, or even despair. Sometimes it can be small things: a traffic jam on the road, an unforeseen delay, a harsh remark from a colleague. Sometimes it can be a serious ordeal: the loss of a job, the illness of a loved one, the breakup of a relationship. At such times, it is easy to sink into negative emotions and begin to fight the situation. But the Stoics tell us stop and think. What is really in your power? Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and one of the most famous Stoics, once said you can turn your gaze away from the outer world whenever you wish, and then the inner world will appear before you, unaffected by chaos and unrest. These words remind us that our inner state is the only thing we have complete control over. We can choose how to react to external events, and it is this choice that determines our tranquility and harmony. Consider this example. You are faced with a situation that makes you angry. Perhaps someone has criticized you unfairly or acted unfairly toward you. In this case, the natural reaction is to respond with aggression, defending yourself and your interests. But the Stoics offer a different approach. Instead of reacting immediately, they teach us to pause and ask ourselves, what does this mean to me? Does it affect my true values and goals? Can I change the situation, or am I better off focusing on managing my emotions? Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and one of the most famous Stoics, once said you can turn your gaze away from the outer world whenever you wish, and then the inner world will appear before you, unaffected by chaos and unrest. These words remind us that our inner state is the only thing we have complete control over. We can choose how to react to external events, and it is this choice that determines our tranquility and harmony. This mindfulness helps us avoid unnecessary stress and maintain inner peace. If a situation cannot be changed, why waste our energy on it? If we can change something, we should approach it with a clear mind and a calm heart, without unnecessary emotions. Because only in this way we can make the right decision and minimize the negative consequences. Now let's pay attention to another important aspect of Stoicism: working with emotions. We often tell ourselves that emotions are beyond our control. I can't help being angry. I can't help being afraid. I can't help being anxious. But the Stoics taught that emotions are the result of our thoughts. If we learn to control our thoughts, we can also control our emotions. This is the power of Stoicism, the ability to be conscious of our thoughts and feelings. Epictetus, one of the most famous teachers of Stoicism, said people are not disturbed by things, but by their opinions about them. This means that events in themselves are neither good nor evil. It all depends on how we perceive them. Our interpretations, our beliefs and attitudes determine our emotions. For example, if we perceive criticism as an attack on our personality, we will experience anger. But if we perceive it as an opportunity for growth and self-development, we can use that criticism to our advantage, remaining calm and balanced. Applying this principle takes practice. For example, the next time you feel a negative emotion, try asking yourself a few questions. What exactly is causing me to feel this emotion? What is the thought behind this emotion? Is this thought fair? Perhaps I am exaggerating or misinterpreting the situation. Gradually, you will begin to notice that many of your emotions are not caused by objective reality, but by your perception. This realization will open up new possibilities for you to manage your inner state. The Stoics also emphasized practical exercises to strengthen the mind and spirit. One such exercise is what is known as negative visualization. This is a technique that helps us realize the value of what we have and prepare for possible losses. For example, the Stoics recommended periodically imagining the loss of things we take for granted: health, loved ones, material goods. This does not mean that we should become pessimistic or live in constant fear. On the contrary, this practice helps us to be grateful for the present and teaches us to accept life in all its manifestations. An equally important virtue in Stoicism is justice. For the Stoics, justice is not just a law or rule, but an inner principle that guides our actions. A just person always strives to do the right thing, no matter how advantageous or convenient it is. The Stoics believe that each of us is responsible not only for ourselves, but also for others. We should strive for goodness, justice, and fairness in our actions, even if it requires sacrifice or self-restraint on our part. Justice in the Stoic sense also includes compassion and respect for others. The Stoics taught that we are all connected to each other, and that our actions affect others. They therefore called for awareness and responsibility in every action. Justice requires us to act with integrity, not only toward ourselves but also toward others, showing respect for their rights and dignity. It requires us to have the inner strength not to follow our passions or selfish desires. Consider, for example, the everyday situations in which we are faced with choices. How often do we act out of self-interest, forgetting the consequences for others? Stoics remind us that every action we take should be in accordance with the principles of justice and goodness. This can manifest itself in small things: giving up a seat on transportation, helping a stranger, or supporting someone in need. But also in more significant actions: not engaging in corrupt schemes, defending those who cannot defend themselves, or standing up for justice, even if it goes against the majority opinion. Stoicism teaches us that justice and moral principles are what give meaning to our lives. They make us stronger and help us build trusting and harmonious relationships with others. After all, ultimately, our inner harmony and happiness depend on how honestly and justly we live. Now that we have discussed the basic virtues of Stoicism, let us turn our attention to another important aspect of this philosophy: the awareness of time. The Stoics deeply valued every moment and realized that time is the most valuable resource. Memento Mori, remember death, they said. This was not a call to gloomy thoughts. On the contrary, it was a reminder that life is short and we should make the most of it. The Stoics advised us to live as if every day could be our last. This does not mean that we should abandon plans for the future. On the contrary, realizing the transience of life helps us to plan better and appreciate the present. It teaches us not to put off important things for later, not to waste time on idle pursuits, and not to miss the opportunities that life offers us. After all, each moment is unique and unrepeatable, and it is up to us how we live it. One of the important principles of Stoicism is to live in accordance with nature. This means that we should strive for harmony not only with ourselves, but also with the world around us. The Stoics believe that man is part of nature, and our happiness depends on how much we conform to its laws. This includes respect for the environment, caring for others, and realizing our responsibility for everything that happens around us. This principle is still relevant today. In today's world, where we are increasingly disconnected from nature and live in man-made environments, Stoic wisdom reminds us of the importance of connecting with the world. We must remember that our actions affect the planet and each of us can contribute to its preservation. This can be expressed through conscious consumption, care for nature, and respect for other living beings. In concluding our discussion of Stoicism, it is important to emphasize that this philosophy is not a set of theories, but a practical guide to action. The Stoics taught that we can and should apply their principles in our daily lives. This requires effort, discipline, and constant work on ourselves. But the reward for this will be inner peace, strength, and harmony that will help us overcome any of life's difficulties. Today we have dived into the wonderful world of Stoic philosophy. We have learned how ancient sages coped with life's challenges, kept calm, and achieved inner peace. And now this knowledge can become a part of your life. Stoicism is not just a theory. It is a practical tool that will help you to become stronger, wiser, and calmer if you want to continue on this path of self-development. If you want to learn more about how to manage your thoughts, emotions, and achieve success, subscribe to our channel. Here you will find even more useful tips and practical exercises that will help you become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to like this video if it was useful for you. And of course, we'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. Share your thoughts. Tell us how you apply Stoic philosophy in your life. Perhaps your experience will be an inspiration for other viewers. Thank you for being with us. Remember that the true power is within you, and you can use it to face any challenge.